Here's my room scan. I have all of my supplies. We don't have provider orders, but please pretend we have some. And here's Alyssa. Knock, knock. I would provide. My name is Hannah. I'll be your student nurse today and perform hand hygiene. Can you tell me your name and date of birth?
Joe Smith, 10/5/53.
And do you have any allergies, Joe?
Sulfa.
Okay. And I'd go ahead and verify on his wristband. And now I'm going to go ahead and look at provider orders. All right, Joe, it looks like I am here to get some blood from you and do a dressing change. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
All right. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and I would stop fluids because they need to be stopped for at least 2 minutes before drawing blood. And then I'm raising the bed to a working height and comfortable. And then I'm going to raise the head of the bed. And are you comfortable there, Joe?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and gather my supplies. So I have all of my flush. They're all intact, not expired. I'm going to break the seal on them. And then you break the seal on the heparin. Okay. And then at this point, I'm gonna fill my heparin, the cap with heparin. So end to end and connect. And then I'm just gonna flush it to fill the cap. And then leave it in the sterile boat. Okay. So now that I have all of my supplies ready, I'm going to go ahead and apply gloves. Alright, and then I would go ahead and scrub for a minute. After a minute, I would go ahead and attach my flush. I'm going to pull back for blood return to check patency, and I have blood return. Once I have blood return, I'm going to go ahead and do the push pause method and flush the 10 milliliters of fluid. And then I'd go ahead and at this point I'm going to pull back for 10 milliliters of blood that I would discard. So I would discard of this and give it to a lab. And then I'm going to go ahead and scrub again. And then I would connect the syringe and open the line, and then I would pull back for blood return as much as the lab requests for, and then I would take this off and send it to lab, and then I would again scrub. And then after 30 seconds to 1 minute, I would put my normal saline on. And again, I would open my line and then do the push pause method to flush the 10 milliliters in. Then I would, at this point, I'm gonna take the cap off and then quickly put the heparin and new cap on, and then I'd open the line, and then I would go ahead and push pause method to administer all of the heparin, and then I would remove the heparin gloves closed. And then I would discard of my gloves. And then I would get rid of everything on here. And pretend that's a garbage. Okay, so now I have Joe. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna, I would have performed hand hygiene. And then I'm gonna put a mask on Joe because we're gonna be doing his dressing change. So at this point, I'm gonna get all my supplies around. I have my sterile kit. I would go ahead and open it. Without breaking sterility, I'm gonna put the gloves to the side and grab my mask. And I'm gonna apply my mask. And then at this point, I would put non-sterile gloves on. And with my non-sterile gloves, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the existing dressing. And then I would ball that up in my gloves and get rid of it. And then I would also inspect Joe's catheter site for any abnormalities or infection or anything that doesn't look right. Alright, and then I'd go ahead and perform hand hygiene. Everything looks good at the insertion site. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my sterile field set up. Alright, and then I'm never turning my back to Joe, so then I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on. Okay, now that I have my gloves on, I'm gonna go ahead and I would open the swabs to cleanse around, and then I'm just making sure my Tegaderm is ready to go. So at this point, I'm gonna sacrifice one hand, and I'm also gonna hold the swabs with that hand. And then I would go ahead and take each one out. I would start cleansing over the insertion site, and then I'd make my way out and not go anywhere over where I just cleaned. And then I'd dispose of this. I would just drop it because I don't want to break my sterile field. And then I would do the same thing with all three. I'd start from the inside and then make my way out, and then I'd dispose of that. I would just drop it on the ground. For the purpose of this, I'm not gonna. And then I'd take the last one and same thing, start on the inside, make my way out without going back over any of the sites I was at. And then I would also go up the tubing to cleanse. And then again, I would just drop that. And then I'm gonna drop that package. I would not touch that, but it's making a mess. Okay, and then at this point, I'm gonna grab my Tegaderm. So I wanna make sure that I don't touch the actual Tegaderm with my dirty gloves. So I'm just gonna grab it, the packaging that doesn't go on Joe, and then this is gonna go right over top of the insertion site because you want to be able to see the insertion site, and then I would take the everything off and label date and time. For this video, I'm not going to take it off because I want to be able to use my Tegaderm again for practice. And then I would take my gloves off and perform hand hygiene. And then that is it for today. I labeled date, time, and initial when the Tegaderm was changed. And then is there anything I can do for you, Joe?
Nope.
Okay, and done.